नमस्ते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद शिव अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna and welcome, dear devotees. So, we're back to our Updeshamrit session, and we have His Holiness the Bhakti Archak Priti Vardhan Maharaj with us. So, we welcome Maharaj by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Bol. You see and hear properly?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. All right. How cold is in Delhi now?
Not very cold, Maharaj. This is just a cotton shawl. Not very cold, Maharaj.
Okay.
But it is coming. It is.
I think it will come, yeah. The Purnima.
Yes, Maharaj.
The next Purnima.
What, Maharaj?
After the next Purnima, it will start getting really cold.
Yes, Maharaj.
The Kartik Purnima. That will be the.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. So then we continue then reading from Upadeshamrita. And well, we are on the first verse. So we will just continue where we stopped from. Everybody remembers what we were talking about before, a week ago?
Yes, Maharaj. We remember. Little we remember.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yes, Maharaj. The 6th.
So, Srila Prabhupada then continues in his purport. Real atonement involves coming to real knowledge. And for this, there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy, brahmacharya, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possession in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, and by practicing yoga asanas. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process, simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master. This easy process is being recommended by Sri Rupa Goswami. So, here in this purport, it's very nicely summarized basically the whole process of devotional service. So, to start the process, then it has to be, tapasya has to be involved. Anything we want to achieve, tapasya has to be involved. You want to learn playing musical instrument, you want to learn reading, writing, you want to learn singing, you want to learn cooking. Tapasya is always involved because you have to schedule yourself for the training. You have to do something, you have to practice it. So devotional service is also like that. In the beginning, it's a tapasya. We have to schedule, we have to do something, how we can practice devotional service. So set the time aside, put energy into it, and do it such a way, so then we practice. It's a tapasya. So when the tapasya is there, then we can progress. But the real progress comes when we follow the spiritual master in the association of devotees and the yama niyama. So yama, then we need to follow the regulative principles and we have to follow the instructions. So when we follow the instructions, chanting of the holy name, that's the main. And with the 4 regulative principles, by practice, we will come eventually to the state of Nishta and further. But we will be able to overcome the anarthas and come to the platform Nishtita Bhakti. So that's what, and it starts with the tapasya. So that's the important part we have to be focused on. First, one must control his speaking power. Every one of us has the power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about all sorts of nonsense. A toad in the field speaks by croaking. And similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however, simply invites the snake. Please come here and eat me. Nevertheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of materialistic men and impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers may be compared to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling speech, however, does not mean self-imposed silence, the external process of mauna, as Mayavadi philosophers think. Silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it proves a failure. The meaning of controlled speech conveyed by Sri Rupa Goswami advocates the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak. So, vacho vegam. So, the tongue is, like Srila Prabhupada puts it, the most ferocious. It's the most difficult actually to control. So, vacho vegam, jiva vegam. These two functions of the tongue are very difficult to control. So Srila Prabhupada now talks about speech. So we need to control our speech. So when we meet, then we should be as much as possible avoiding prajalpa. And if we do get into some, can say like a light talk, then at least we should see how we can connect that to Krishna. Because everything is possible. Once it was Srila Prabhupada then who met with one Formula One driver. And then what does the Formula One driver knows about Krishna consciousness, right? And so then he knows about driving. But Srila Prabhupada, he wanted to preach to him. But then how to do it? You start talking about philosophy, then he will like to not to hear. Oh yeah, okay, that's not for me. I am not a philosopher, I'm a driver, so then no. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. And let's end with the preaching. But Srila Prabhupada wanted to explain. So they talk. And they talk about the cars. And they talked about the engines. And then talk about many other things. And at one point, then the pilot, then he was explaining how it's adrenaline, right? Now you are driving, I don't know how, 300 kilometers per hour, 400 kilometers per hour, whatever it goes, maybe more. And then he's explaining how much it gives, like a satisfaction. So then, fine. Then Srila Prabhupada, then he asks, okay, so when you are going and you are overtaking the cars, or you are going into a curve, are you not afraid? Yes, sometimes, okay, but that's part of it. Right? That's what gives the adrenaline. And then Srila Prabhupada, then he asked, And do you know why you are afraid? No. And then Srila Prabhupada starts explaining the connection, how actually Krishna, he is the fear. How he is everything what manifests in the world. So then knowing the connection, then now he was listening. So Srila Prabhupada was able to connect. So we should also be very careful when we are talking, we are preaching to someone. We should be looking for the connections. We should be looking how we can connect what we want to talk about to something practical in the life of the person, so then he can apply it. The philosophy and one's life should not be two different things. It's the same thing. Just you can say it's a different angle of view. That's all. But we talk about controlling the speech. So that's philosophy. It comes from here, vacho vegam. But practically applicable when we talk with our friends, when we talk with whoever, our colleagues, then we should speak. Oh, I should not speak unnecessarily some nonsense. I should control my speech. Vacho vegam. Okay. So the philosophy you apply in your life. And to do that, the media, how to actually do it, that's what Krishna created, the Varnashrama Dharma, the culture of the Varnashrama Dharma. That's how you apply the philosophy in your life. That's why you, being Indian, you have the basics of how to follow the culture. But now, because India is accepting the Western culture as the supreme, then they are losing them. Culture is being lost slowly. It's still there, but that's exactly what Srila Prabhupada is establishing. So we are talking about the Vedic culture, Krishna culture. That's the Varnashrama Dharma. That's what keeps it, keeps us progressing. That's what makes us understand how to connect the philosophy with our life. So that's very important. The restlessness or flickerness of the mind, manovega, is controlled when one can fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22:31 says, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Hai Andhakara, Yahan Krishna, Tahan Nahi, Mayara Adhikar. Krishna is just like the sun, and Maya is just like darkness. If the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibility of the minds being agitated by Maya's influence. The yogic process of negating all material thoughts will not help. To try to create vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always thinks of Krishna and how to serve Krishna best, one's mind will naturally be controlled. So here the process, Srila Prabhupada touches the process of the neti, negating. Oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. And that way, then the Mayavadis, they are trying to figure out who they are. I am Brahman. So I'm not this, I'm not that. But the process doesn't work because you cannot explain a thing by something which it is not. It's very difficult. How many attributes you have to address before you exhaust all the possibilities which it is not? Like, for example, you want to explain what's bottle. So So, okay, bottle is not a brick. Bottle is not a pillow. Bottle is not a mat. Bottle is not flour. No. Bottle is not a car. And then you can go on and you can never end. So it's pointless. We should be looking for who is Krishna. And then we find the answer. Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. Then we know. That's clear. And from that, we can progress very fast. Once we know who is Krishna, then we automatically know who he is not. So this is the difference between the process of the Mayavadis and the process of the Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas, they accept Krishna as he is, as a Bhagavan, and from there, they understand Paramatma and the Bhagavan feature. They don't have to worry about anything else. It's explained. Guru Sadhu Shastra describes, and we have no doubts. Simply, or similarly, anger can be controlled. We cannot stop anger altogether. But if we simply become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord of the devotees of the Lord, we control our anger in Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with the miscreant brothers Jagai and Madai, who blasphemed and struck Nityananda Prabhu. In his Shikshastaka, Lord Chaitanya wrote, Trinarapi Sunichena, Tararapi Sahishna. One should be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. One may then ask why the Lord exhibited this anger. The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all insults to one's own self. But when Krishna or his pure devotee is blasphemed, a genuine devotee becomes angry and acts like fire against the offenders. Krodha, anger, cannot be stopped, but it can be applied rightly. It was in anger that Hanuman sent fire to Lanka, but he is worshipped as the greatest devotee of Lord Ramachandra. This means that he utilizes anger in the right way. Arjuna serves as another example. He was not willing to fight, but Krishna incited his anger. You must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is controlled, however, when utilized in the service of the Lord. So, this is sometimes not easy. We get angry for no reason. We get angry at somebody. So sometimes the mind slips and it's not Krodha Vega. We don't control anger. But as soon as we realize that, then we should start understanding, oh, I'm actually talking to a devotee. Now I should not be angry. So please forgive me. No, I didn't mean it. That's good. But we should see that when something is happening and it's not right, and it's affecting the devotees, then yeah, we should be angry. That's the meaning. So anger cannot be stopped, but it can be properly channeled. It can be utilized properly. So don't use anger towards devotees or the Lord. Use anger towards the non-devotees. And even that anger, when you are trying to be angry at non-devotees, never give up hope for them. Never become nasty. The anger should be always given with the idea that you are trying to help. Like a parent becomes angry at a child that he does some nonsense. But he is not stopping to be a parent. He is the parent still. And he is going to punish the child. But he's not going to punish the child because he hates the child. He's going to punish the child because he wants him to improve. So therefore, he will punish him so that he can correct himself. So the same way we may become angry, but it's not a real anger. The anger is just to make somebody to understand the point, what you want to get across. That's the best. You should never be angry because you hate someone. That's never good. Okay. As for the urges of the tongue, we all experience that the tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Generally, we should not allow the tongue to eat according to its choice, but should control the tongue by supplying prasad. The devotee's attitude is that he will eat only when Krishna gives him prasad. That is the way to control the urge of the tongue. One should take prasad at scheduled times and should not eat in restaurants or sweetmeat shops simply to satisfy the whims of the tongue or belly. If we stick to the principle of taking only prasad, the urges of the belly and tongue can be controlled. So this is another one which is very difficult sometimes to control. So we should always endeavor that whatever we eat, we offer to Krishna. Then whatever is offered to Krishna, then it's prasad and it's purifying. So then when we try to offer to Krishna whatever we can according to our capacity. So we should be careful not to offer something, maybe opulent just because we want it. Okay, I want it. Okay, Krishna, I made it for you. You eat it. Okay, now okay, you finished. Okay, now I'm going to eat. It should not be that mood. We should try to please Krishna. But in the beginning, it may be difficult. So therefore, the acharyas, now they are describing, there is a Sakama Bhakti in which we have our desires. But the desires, we can engage in devotional service and Krishna accepts it. It's bhakti. But it's not a pure bhakti. So we like pizza, so we make pizza because we want to eat it. But the result, which the pizza is when it's made, we offer to Krishna. Okay, I'm not forgetting about it. Don't worry. Okay, here, take it. Okay, you finished. Now I'm going to take it. It was for me. I made it the way I like it. So it's one level. But then the next level will be, Krishna, what do you like? Let me tell me what you like and let me make it for you the way you like it. Now, for example, then Govardhan Puja is coming. What do you make for Govardhan Puja? Krishna likes sweets. You go to Vrindavan, you will see there are like an unlimited amount of sweets. So many varieties. Why? Because Krishna likes. So during the Govardhan Puja, the Brijbasis, they feed Krishna with unlimited sweets. So you can try. You know some sweets, make it. Beshan laddu, bundi laddu, whatever you know, make some milk sweets, kheer, and whatever. Make it for the pleasure of Krishna. And then, okay, Krishna eats, you have a nice festival, and after that, take the prasad. That way, you can have very nice, prasad, you can be very satisfied, but it's a controlling the tongue, jiva vegam, because you take prasad. So that way, then we can satisfy Krishna, and from the remnants, what Krishna gives us, we can also be happy, we can satisfy other devotees. That's the right way. So, yeah. How do you celebrate Govardhan Puja? What do you do?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Maharaj, usually we go to the temple and we take sevas in the temple for various activities on
Is
they made the cake and the annukut. Prabhuji's help in the decoration, like this. Um, so
is
this
it
is
come
what
to home?
usually happens. But this year it will be, I don't know how many of us will be going to the temple, because here again that COVID cases are increasing.
Right.
So
So if you cannot go, do something at home. No,
yes, Maharaj.
if no, you can make your own little Govardhan
Yes.
hill.
Mm.
You can decorate it nicely. No, you can. I don't know. You may not have Govardhan Shila, but okay, you have Ladu Gopal. You can put Ladu Gopal. No, on top of the hill, worship him. No, you can have a nice festival, or even at home, or just they can join few families. But no, and read the pastime of Govardhan. So make it Krishna conscious. No, anybody can do that. And then after that, just together take prasad. It's that's the best way.
Mhm. Yes, Maharaj, we will do that. I think it's a good idea. The few of us can meet, and they make Matajis. They make cake or annukut at home also. They have become expert now. Few of them.
Yes, yeah, whatever they do, utilize it, make it, and make sure there is Krishna Katha, Kirtan, Bhajan, and a lot of prasad, a lot of sweets.
Mhm.
That's what Krishna likes. So and then you can have very nice festival.
Yes, Maharaj. We will try this. Krishna willing, we will try to do this. Few of us can meet and here, like you said, we will read. We can read Gordhan pastimes. Uh, Nowadays, Maharaj, I don't know you are aware. There's a virtual Braj Mandal Parikrama also going on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Maharaj. The Vrindavan temple, they have started it, and it is very nice, Maharaj. Very nice. That experience is so nice, because each day, like they go same whatever they do in the physical, they take virtual. So they show the places also, old recordings, and then they have senior devotees or sannyasis who are speaking katha also.
Okay.
So like that. So like one and a half hour, 1 hour every day recording comes.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes, Maharaj. So
So that purifies the mind. No, Mano Vegam. No, puts the mind in Vrindavan. So you are conscious of Vrindavan, you are a Vrindavan.
no. Yes, Maharaj.
So yeah, that's when the technology is good. That it helps.
Yes, Maharaj. That 1 hour when we are hearing or even seeing properly, it is very absorbing, Maharaj, because you immediately are transported there.
Yes,
The
yes.
devotees are walking, and every day, Maharaj, they tell, tomorrow you make this bhoga because we are going to offer it to that deity. So then they show that deity's picture and they say you offer the bhoga and honor the prasadam, like that.
Ah, okay.
And they give the menu also, Maharaj. That tomorrow menu is like this. You cook this tomorrow.
Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, good.
Yes, Maharaj.
So are there any questions?
Hare Krishna. Devotees, do you have any questions on today's verse?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. I'll share my experience because whenever every year when we make bhoga for our temple, we take bhoga on whenever so we take bhoga and we make delicious things and in prasad we may get anything. We are not aware. So we give bhoga in handi and we get handi in return, and that makes us realize that we are making bhoga for the Thakurji and prasad maybe any other item.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rani Prabhu, you can ask. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for explaining. Uh, Maharaj, you in the middle you said that about tapasya, that there will be some progress when tapasya is there, but you said something that real tapasya will come when we follow our spiritual master, and then yam niyam, and but you said something else as well. So what was that? Maybe I missed it.
Hmm. Well, we were talking about following the yama niyama, then yama the rules, and niyama, the instructions. The instructions are more important. The instructions are what takes you forward, and that's the principle of always remember Krishna. The yama, the restrictions, those are the ones which help you to properly follow the instruction. The restriction itself, they are not going to make you Krishna conscious. Following the four regulative principles will not make you Krishna conscious. But following the four regulative principles will help you so you can focus on chanting Hare Krishna, which will make you Krishna conscious. So, we should follow the Guru's orders, and he gives both the yama niyama. So both need to be followed. In the beginning, especially the yama. But later on, they are not important anymore, the regulations. The focus is on the chanting of the holy name. But we should not jump over, we should not think, okay, I don't follow the restrictions, the rules and regulations. They're not for me. I'm Raganuga. So I don't have to follow anything. And I wake up whenever I want, I do whatever I want, and I'm transcendental. That's called sahaj. So that's nothing to do with Raganuga. So the devotees who are above the rules and regulations, they will never instruct anybody not to follow rules and regulations. These devotees, they will do whatever everybody else does whenever they remember. But sometimes, they are so absorbed in Krishna consciousness that they forget, right? So, sometimes you may see, devotee he comes to the temple and he is so overwhelmed that he doesn't pay obeisances to the Lord. Now, somebody may see this and criticize. Oh, look at it. No, he thinks how big guy he is and he's not paying obeisances. So, he may genuinely actually forget. He's so absorbed on the Lord that he forgets to pay obeisances. And it's not his fault. And Krishna doesn't take it as a fault. But somebody who points it out, this is a fault, then Krishna doesn't take it lightly. So we should be very careful before we speak and make comment or voice our opinion on that somebody is like this, somebody is like that. We should think very carefully that not to make an offense. So if you don't know who the devotee is, then rather just be neutral. Don't come to the point and start criticizing. Oh, look, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's like this. If you don't know, don't criticize, and try to ask some senior Vaishnavas who can help you to explain to you then what's happening. Like, for example, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he gave Babaji to Vamshiras Babaji. And he was very elevated devotee. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he prohibited his disciple to go and see him. Now, why is that? That's some contradiction, right? So if he's good devotee, we should have good association. So then why are we prohibited to go there? Only few devotees he allowed to go and see him. And it's not because the association is bad. And it's not about that Vamshad Babaji is not a good devotee. The point was that he is so elevated, he is unaware of the externals, and his relationship with Gornitai is on the Vatsalya. So he deals with them like that. So sometimes he chastises them. One time their offering bowls disappeared. So then he said, okay, look, you guys are the gods, right? And you let somebody steal your bowls. So then I'm not cooking for you. First you find your bowls and then I'll cook. And then later on, Nitai bowls appeared. And okay, I'll cook for Nitai, but for you I'm not cooking. So hearing that, our pujaris will not be very happy, kind of like seeing that, and may think, who is this nonsense? Who is this guy? And we make offenses. So therefore, rather just, if you don't know, don't criticize. And even if you know, you can stay away, but don't get into criticizing. It's bad. Okay?
Yes, Maharaj, thank you. I had one more question. So, when you were speaking about not to speak necessarily, you connected Devi Varnashram Dharam with that, about Krishna culture and Devi Varnashram Dharam. So I did not understand the point on how does both connect.
See, it's not just the talking. What I was talking about, the Varnashrama Dharma, and the point, especially the Krishna culture, is about how you connect philosophy which we study in your real life. The philosophy you read in the Prabhupada's books and the life you live, they are not two different things. That's the same thing. But unless you apply the philosophy in your life, then how will you know it's the same thing? Many devotees say, oh, reading Bhagavad, okay, it's nice read, Mahabharata, it's nice, Ramayana, it's nice, but that's thousands, millions of years old. It's not applicable today. Look, now we have computers and then we have this. It's a different age. So it's nice, it's some nice stories, but we need to be real. And we are then unable to understand. So how do you understand how to apply this philosophy, which may be thousands of years old, how you apply it in your life? That's when the culture is the connection between the philosophy and the real life you are living. So you follow the instructions from the Shastra, applying them through the culture, which the Varnashrama Dharma was established, so to establish a culture. So through that, you can apply it and live your life according to the philosophy which is in the books. That's not separate. It's the same thing. Do you understand?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Does anybody has any other question? No more questions, Maharaj. They are.
Haribol.
Yes.
So yeah, so have a nice festivals. Do the Govardhan Puja and Prabhupada Disappearance Day.
Yes.
Cook something nice for Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, now he has many recipes, many Bengali recipes, which he likes. But if you don't know Bengali cooking, okay, you can cook anything. But something which Srila Prabhupada really loves, it's Khasta Kachori. You know Khasta Kachori? You must know Khasta Kachori. So you can cook that for Srila Prabhupada. Khasta Kachori and some chutney.
Maharaj, some may not know that recipe of the Khachra Khichdi. Can you share, Maharaj?
Kachori, actually, it's like looks like a puri, right? You fill it up with dal, with a mixture of dal. That's kachori. But Khasta Kachori is hard. It's harder. It looks like small puri, but the crust, the pastry, is like samosa, like a singara. So it's not like puri. It looks more kind of like a oval, and to eat it you have to break it. Like puchka, similar thing, little bit similar. But inside there is a filling of dal, hing, and spices. And that's served hot with some tamarind chutney. It's Srila Prabhupada, no, he loved it very much.
Okay, Maharaj. So we'll make Khasta Kachori.
Yes,
We'll make-
Khasta Kachori for Srila Prabhupada
Yes.
was his, the most favorite. Even when he was sick, in 77. But he ordered that Pishima to make Khasta Kachori for him. But this is not good. No, make it. So he loved them. So you can do that, and you can offer the Khasta Kachoris to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Maharaj. We'll make Govardhan Puja also. We'll do if we are unable to go to temple. We'll try to celebrate at best as possible. Make a lot of sweets for Giriraj Govardhan, and also Prabhupada Disappearance Day, Maharaj. Also,
Okay,
we will try to make Khasta Kachoris and
very good.
offer nicely. Yes, Maharaj.
So next week probably will not have the session because this is Srila Prabhupada Disappearance Day.
Oh, that's Wednesday only. Yes, Maharaj.
And then we may go to some, I don't know exactly what will happen, but it may not, there may not be time for the class.
Okay, Maharaj. I'll coordinate. No problem. I'll coordinate, Maharaj. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so very, Maharaj. We'll heartily, our heartfelt thanks to you for taking time and giving us association and reading these wonderful verses from Upadesh Amrit. So we thank you. Thanks, Maharaj, by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Holiness Bhakti Arja Priti Vardhan Maharaj ki jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So thank you so very much for attending the session. These are little serious sessions, but we always get mercy. And Maharaj gave us inspiration to cook something nice for Giriraj on Govardhan Puja, and also for Prabhupada also, that we make Khasta Kachori. I couldn't understand the pronunciation first time. I thought Maharaj is talking about some khichdi. I said, which khichdi Prabhupada used to like? Then I realized it's talking about Kachori. So we have clear inspiration what to do. And so we will now see everyone on Friday for our Vaishnav etiquette class. And for last week classes, Ramesh Gaurang Prabhu, he will share the notes also, what we did. So every week, Ramesh Gaurang Prabhu, he will share the notes from the class, so we know what we did, and we can revise it before the class also. So most probably tomorrow, Ramesh Gaurang Prabhu will post the notes from the last class. So thank you so very much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.